Hello, my name is Shannon. Thank you so much for joining me today for this yoga practice for hip mobility and flexibility. If you know me or you've seen my bio, I have been a physical therapist since 1998. I just checked my diploma, so yeah, I was 15 when I graduated. So anyway, I've seen a lot of hip injuries. I've seen a lot of post-op hips. And in today's society, of course, we sit a lot, so our hips are in flexion and typically little external rotation when we sit. So it is important to really stretch out these muscles. So the hip joint moves in 6 different directions: flexion, extension, abduction, abduction, adduction, internal and external rotation. So in this practice, we're going to touch on all of those movements and get some nice juicy stretches. And as I always say, just do what feels good in your body. Don't go too far, too soon. Just kind of let yourself open up, and I hope you enjoy. So we're going to go ahead and start on our backs with our knees bent, feet flat, palms facing down. Let's take a couple breaths here to ground ourselves down, feeling our presence. And we'll start with some windshield wipers. So we're letting our knees fall right and left. And this is working our internal and external rotation. If your legs are hitting your hands like mine are, you can open up your arms. Just start to notice how your hips are feeling today. Maybe you've been sitting all day. Maybe you woke up and you're feeling a little stiff. So this is a great way to begin and loosen up our hips. A couple more. Now we're going to go into some bridges. So bend your knees enough that your fingers can sort of graze your heel. So as I was saying, when we're sitting, we're in flexion, which means our thigh is closer to our belly. So when you're doing bridges, you're doing kind of the opposite movement of what you do when you're sitting. So we are actually extending our hips when we do this. So we're getting a nice stretch on these hip flexors in the front of our legs. Our quad muscle crosses our pelvis joint, so this is one of our hip flexors we are working here, as well as our iliopsoas, which is a major hip flexor. So start to notice how your muscles are feeling here. As you press up, you're engaging your glutes. And on this next one, we're going to hold it here, pausing. So you're pressing through your feet. And if you want to take it a little further, you can clasp your fingers, walking your shoulder blades together. And this just gives you a little more room to really press that pelvis up. So keep breathing here, sending your breath to your hip flexors in the front of your pelvis, top of your thigh. And slowly release it down. Let's grab our knees and give ourselves a little stretch, pulling our knees in. And then we're going to place our hands on the back of our thighs and just sort of roll up to a seated position. We're going to do a little bit of a butterfly. So let's place our feet together, and you can have your feet as close or as far apart as you'd like, but kind of get yourself sitting on your sit bones. You can hold your ankles or your feet. I'm going to kind of hold my ankles today. And we'll just do a little bit of flapping here. So flapping our butterfly wings, getting this movement in our hips, maybe engaging your belly a little bit. And then we'll pause, gently pressing our knees down as we sort of squeeze our shoulder blades together, and breathe. And then we're going to very gently fold forward. So we're getting this forward fold with our hips in external rotation. And if you'd like, you can adjust your feet out or in. And just really relax your legs here. Maybe you get little cracks in your back. Dropping your head. and we'll slowly press back up. So we're going to go into a hamstring stretch. Our hamstrings also get very tight when we sit a lot. And we're going to have this right leg in internal rotation. So you can kind of move your knee to where it feels comfortable. And we're going to fold forward over this left leg. So once again, really relaxing here. And if you'd like, you can take your right hand and just gently pull your leg a little bit inwards, getting that internal rotation on the left leg so your toes aren't falling out. And we'll slowly walk back up. Now we're going to move our knee out a little bit. So again, we're in this internal rotation, but we're also getting a little abduction, and fold forward this way. So stopping again anywhere you need to, so your head can be up, or you can slowly lower it down, taking your time, relaxing your face and your jaw, and just letting these muscles really soften. You'll feel this probably in your left hamstring behind your thigh. And we'll slowly press back up. Let's go into a wide-legged forward fold. So this is getting this abduction on both of our legs. So kind of wiggle around, take your time. Your legs can be anywhere that feels right. And we will slowly fold forward here. And let's gently walk our hands back up. We're going to do that hamstring stretch on the other side. So turning to the other side of the mat, getting that left leg in this internal rotation. Let's take our time walking our hands down. And this is where, if you'd like, you could take your left hand and just gently pull your leg a little bit in, like you're rotating it inward. And relax down. And we'll slowly press back up. So let's take that leg and move it out just a little bit. Get yourself situated on your sit bone. And then we will walk forward in between our legs. This is one where you really want to take your time and not push it too far. And slowly press back up. Let's go onto all fours into tabletop. Move your hips just a little bit when you get here. And let's extend our right leg up, pausing here. And then we're going to slowly bring it forward into a pigeon pose. So you're dropping your knee near your right hand. Now, a lot of times in pigeon, people say to have it at 90 degrees. Sometimes that is not an option. So feel free to bend your knee as much as you need to. Let's move a little bit right and left. And today we're going to do a pigeon where we walk to the right and we gently fold over our right leg. And when you get down here, if you feel like your left hip is really coming up a lot, you can gently press with your right forearm and you'll feel that left hip bone coming down towards the mat. And you'll probably feel that stretch in the right side. The piriformis muscle attaches at your hip joint and comes around to your sacrum. So this is an important muscle to stretch if you sit a lot. and really anytime. It always gets tight. And we'll slowly release. Now we're going to bend our back knee, and as we do that, our pelvis is going to come up. So just up and down a few times. And then we'll walk our right hand to the right and bend that back knee, grabbing anywhere on your foot to get a little bit of a quad stretch, which is also a hip flexion stretch. And breathe. And slowly release. Let's bring our right knee back into tabletop. Get that movement here to sort of reset our hips. And then we're going to lift that left leg up and pause. And then gently bring it forward on the mat, knee towards your left hand. And this side may feel different than the other, so bend your knee as much as you need to. We'll do that little side to side movement. And then we'll walk our hands to the left, gently folding over our leg. And if you feel like your right hip is coming up, give that little press with your left forearm and breathe. And we'll slowly walk back up. Hands on the mat. We're going to bend that back knee as our pelvis comes up. And then we'll walk that left hand to the right, reaching back for our foot, getting that quad stretch, maybe looking back. And release. Hair all over me. Okay, we're gonna cross at our ankles and come down on our backs. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats. Hair tends to get everywhere. So let's take just a moment here to breathe. And we'll straighten our left leg, reaching our right leg up and grabbing anywhere on your leg and just moving it a little bit right and left. You can have a bend in your knee. Kind of gives a nice little massage on your low back. And then we'll place our left hand on the outside of our calf. Right palm is on the mat. And just give a very gentle pull to the left. Getting a little IT band stretch on the outside of our hip. And then we'll bend our left knee. So our right leg is over our left, and you can grab on your lower legs or near your ankle and pull your legs a little bit towards you and do a little rotation here. And then maybe pause and give a little squeeze, tucking your chin. And slowly release. We're going to straighten that right leg. Left leg is up, moving the leg a little right and left. And we'll place that right hand on the outside of the calf. Left palm is down as we slowly pull that leg to the right. Engaging your stomach muscles here as well. Feeling that little stretch. And release back. Let's bring that right knee up so we can grab on our legs or our ankles. Do a little rotation here. Right and left. And then gently pull those knees towards you as you tuck your chin. So you're really relaxing your legs here, using your arm strength. release. We're going to end with a reclined butterfly. So placing our feet together, and you can have your feet close to your groin or further away, depending on how it's feeling in your hips. Your hands can relax on your thighs. Let your breath return to normal. Send your awareness to your hips. Softening your muscles. Now we'll bring our knees in, give ourselves one last squeeze, a hug, and then we'll roll up to a seated position. Placing our hands on our knees, let's take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Let's bring our hands to heart center, bowing our heads, giving ourselves gratitude for showing up today to practice and come home to ourselves. The light in me honors the light in you, and together here now and always, we are one. Namaste. I appreciate you joining me today for this hip practice. I hope your hips are feeling flexible and loose, and I hope to see you again very soon. Have a wonderful day.